Must have. Not yet. But we'll still be good.
We are live on YouTube. We have 2 minutes till time to start.
84.
Hey, Tim.
Yes.
What I called you about the other night is still going on.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Sad. Good morning, Mark.
Hey, good morning, Jeff. How you doing?
Good.
Good.
A lot of difference in the weather from now and a week ago, and
Yes, sir.
only in Kentucky.
Judge, I have 900 hours.
Okay,
We are recording. Ready to start.
okay, thank you. Tracy, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir, I can. Yes, sir, I can.
Good. Okay, I want to call this to order. This is video teleconference meeting in accordance with KRS 61.823, KRS 61.836, Executive Order 2020-243, Attorney General 20-05, 20 Senate Bill 150, and March 31st, 2020 Attorney General advisory due to COVID-19 and declared a local state of emergency. This is February the 24th at 9 a.m. And Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Jeff Botts,
Here.
Trent Riddle, Carl Dickerson,
Here.
Kim Coomer,
Here.
Mark Bowman,
Here.
Ed Sarton,
Here.
Billy Hutchins,
Here.
Judge Hale.
Here, thank you very much. I'll entertain a motion to adopt the orders of today.
So moved.
Second.
Coomer, roll call vote, please.
Squire Dickerson,
Yes.
Squire Coomer,
Yes.
Squire Bowman,
Yes.
Squire Sarton,
Yes.
Squire Hutchins,
Yes.
Squire Botts,
Yes.
Judge Hale.
Yes, thank you very much. Invocation today will be given by Magistrate Botts.
Yes. You pray with me, please. Thank you, Lord, for all your many blessings. Thank you for our judge and the leaders in our county and our magistrates in each county of Kentucky and in the nation. We pray for our leaders this morning. We pray that you will go with us through this meeting, that we will do your will. Thank you again for all your blessings. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Stand for pledge, please. Flag of the United States of America. Republic and
One nation.
Nation.
liberty and justice.
Yes.
I'd like to welcome everyone that's with us this morning. I think we do have some media. Thank you all, our elected officials. We do have extra folks on here and we're going to get to them very quickly. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of January 19th, 2021.
So move.
Second.
Any corrections, deletions, abstractions, additions? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Squire Coomer,
Yes.
Squire Bowman,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Squire Hutchins,
Yes.
Squire Botts,
Yes.
Dickerson,
Yes.
Judge Hale.
Yes, thank you very much. Does any magistrate have any announcements in their respective districts that they would like to share? Okay, hearing none, I will go right into reports. I'll go under my report. We need to authorize purchase orders for check orders for recently authorized new bank accounts. So we need to take action on that.
Motion?
Second. Wait a minute.
Houchins, any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Squire Bowman,
Yes.
Bar Sarton,
Yes.
Bar Houchins,
Yes.
Bar Botts,
Yes.
Bar Dickerson,
Yes.
Squire Coomer,
Yes.
Judge Hale.
Yes, thank you very much. The new Barren County Judicial Center update today, starting at 1 p.m. We'll be interviewing 3 finalists of engineering, the firms. That it's going to be a lengthy process. The committee did decide to go with Beard Financial. That is a local financial group here in Barren County. So, but today the committee will be interviewing those engineering firms. I should have maybe a definite better report next month. Hopefully we can get some folks in place. Just keep in mind, we have to follow the AOC rules and regulations. So we're sort of at their mercy as we move through this, but we are moving through it pretty quick. So if there's ever any questions about it, you guys feel free to reach out to us. We'll share the link with you on a meeting, because it is an open meeting unless we go into closed session. But any of you all like to follow along, we'll be more than happy to let you follow along. Any questions on that so far?
Is the location for sure already decided?
No. No, it hasn't. Okay, we'll move on. As you all know, I did declare an emergency this week with the snow and ice event. And I want to start off by thanking my co-workers, Transportation Department, here in the Office of Judge Executive, Emergency Management staff, Solid Waste, our Parks and Rec. Everyone stepped up to do a little extra. Our maintenance, I can't ask for a better team to work with. So, and I appreciate the magistrates that reached out to offer assistance in any way. Greatly appreciate that, guys. Really do. We took some lumps, but we're going to learn from them. We really are. One thing that it's hard to explain to people, that we have snow plows and not ice plows. You know, snow plows don't do very good in ice. So, but we do appreciate that. We had local help from some of our farmers in our community, and that is greatly appreciated. We couldn't have done it without them. There's no way. So, just want to say thank you to everyone. Okay, next under my report, this is something that we've had conversation with Magistrate Dickerson, Magistrate Bowman. This is an ordinance for a bond issue. And we talked about this last court meeting. If for any questions that we may have with this, we have Gil Johnson. Obviously, we have Maureen Carpenter on with us today. If we need to answer any questions, I sent out a revised ordinance yesterday. I did talk with Magistrate Dickerson and Bowman about this. They are authority members of economic. So I wanted them to be front and center on it. We changed some verbiage. It was highlighted of what was changed in it. And again, any questions, Gil, Maureen, they're there to answer those. And but we have to take action. Today will be first reading on this. Okay. So I need a motion.
I'll make that motion, Judge.
Magistrate Dickerson,
I'll second that, Judge.
Magistrate Bowman. Okay, open discussion.
Well, if we could, where you highlighted the change in ordinance, that's with K-City willing to come in and partner with us, correct?
Well, what that does, that gives them the ability to do that.
Okay,
That's not saying that they will. It just gives them that ability. Okay, that's a conversation Maureen and I had with the mayor. Obviously, they have to take it before their council, but that gives them the ability to partner with us.
good. So that gives them the option then, I guess.
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
Judge, I know last meeting, there were a lot of questions about the city of Glasgow's participation, and you and I talked about this a little bit yesterday. You or Maureen have any comments to make about that?
I'll give my comments and I'll let Maureen, in conversation with the mayor, Armstead, they're not ready yet. I think they have some obligations they have to take care of, but they're willing. Just, I don't know what the timeline is. Maureen, if you want to comment on it anymore.
Yeah, that was the same feedback that I got from the mayor. They definitely understand how important this is and the benefits that it will have on them, especially once the property is annexed into the city limits. They anticipate that within a year or two that they would be able to come in. So we'll continue to work with them on that timeline and at what level. So, but they're definitely supportive. They understand that they need to be a part of this. It's just a matter of when they can afford to do that.
Well, Judge, I have a question or Maureen, either one. Would this ordinance have to be amended when they're ready to join the bonding issue?
That's probably best for me to answer that question, Judge. If that's
Okay.
good to you. The short answer is no. The way we structured this ordinance and what the county is going to have to subsequently do is enter into an interlocal cooperation agreement with the city at the time they're ready to go forward. So that is going to require some additional action, but not additional authorization for the bond. So today you authorize your first reading for the authorization of the bonds. And then the next point is that at the point in time the city decides it wants to go forward, it would adopt an ordinance approving an interlocal cooperation agreement. The county would have to do the same, subject to approval of the Department of Local Government. Once that approval is secured, then you can a portion of the bond proceeds would be used to finance whatever their portion is. So let me give you an example. If just use the full amount, you had $5 million and they only needed $500,000, you might issue anywhere between $1 million and $4.5 million for your project. And then at some subsequent date, they decide, okay, we're ready to go forward. You would enter into that interlocal agreement and then issue another $500,000 or provide another $500,000 to them. I anticipate that the interlocal agreement will be the document that outlines their financial obligation to pay their portion of the bond issue, including whatever expenses were associated with that.
I believe you down here at the very bottom, that's sort of highlighted on the city and county interlocal desire. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes, sir. And in section 13, based on my conversation, I guess yesterday with Maureen, we made a change. So there is a new section 13 that identifies the agreement and simply says if they don't do it, then you have no obligation to fund anything with respect to their project.
Correct. That's correct.
And by the way, that decision could be made. The city could say, okay, we're ready to go, and the county at a subsequent date could say, no, we don't have the funds or we don't want to do it. So you reserve that option. I think that's what the question sort of went to, if that's responsive.
Yes. I just making sure that we're covered on our end, and basically the other entities they have that option to not participate or participate, and they're covered as well.
That's absolutely true, Judge. But you retain the option not to go forward with the city if that's what you decided to do. I'm not saying that's what you need to do.
We're going to work on the partnerships because the only way we're going to move forward with this is to have those partnerships. I just want to say I'm proud of the court for taking the lead on this because I think it's been said it's long overdue. It's, there's a lot of traction out there right now. You're taking tax money and you're creating jobs. And I can't explain it to you any more than that. And the cities have the most to gain here. And but again, it's time that we take the lead and move on with it. Any other questions? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Scar Sargent,
Yes.
Scar Houchins,
Yes.
Watts,
Yes.
Dickerson,
Yes.
Scar Coomer,
Yes.
Scar Bowman,
Yes.
and Hale.
Yes, thank you very much. Maureen, Jill, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Judge. Everyone have a good day and a safe one. Thank you.
Also under this, the proposed jail budget for 2021-22. We've had some meetings with Jailer Ben and his staff. Actually, we just had one this past week. So that will be the second one since the last fiscal court meeting. Monday, I had invited Magistrate Bowman to set in on just an extra set of ears and eyes. So maybe there might be something that we are missing. I will say that I'm going to challenge the court to have a working session before April the 1st. And I need you guys to bring your ideas. I need you to bring to the court how we can fix this. And and I will say, benefit of the doubt, we're not over budget like we were a year ago, but we're still over budget. And we just have to tighten that up a little bit. Everybody needs to be held accountable here because we are spending taxpayer money. It don't matter how you look at it. And the taxpayers of this county, they deserve to know. They deserve us to work harder on this, not just put it off on one or two people. And we were elected to do this, and that's what we need to do. So I'm going to challenge you. We'll put out some feelers on when we can meet and talk about it.
Judge,
Right.
could I get an email copy of the proposed jail budget and with comparison from last year? Has there already been,
No, sir.
has the jail already got a budget proposed?
No, sir.
No, sir. Okay.
Nope, they don't. And that's what I'm challenging you guys to help do the proposed budget.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If I could just interject here, Judge, if that's okay. When we met with them, of course, the budget with them, of course, there was quite a shortfall, 1.2 million that had to be moved to them in order to, that's how much over budget they were. Well, and currently, in the current budget that we're in, that ends June the 30th, they're currently about $500,000 already over for this year. But we can discuss some other things as we go through this. But I thought it was a good meeting. There were some suggestions that they came up with. I think that especially in personnel, maybe moving some jobs from hourly to salary, which would help in overtime. And then also I want to give them a shout out on the positive side. They have made strides there in their overtime in reducing that. So I just think, I want the Mr. Bennett to know that, we are all a team. It's not us against them or them against us. We're all working together, and that we're all working for the taxpayers of Barren County. They're our ultimate people we report to. But in any way that that we can be a helping hand to them, I think we need to extend that hand, and I think we have done that. But I just think there needs to be more communications between us, and so that it doesn't further deteriorate and become to the extent it was last year. But in summary, I think they are trying. They have more work to do there. We have more communications with them, and but I think it's something that we really, really have to keep our eye on, because I don't think we would be fiscal responsible if we don't. But is that pretty well sum it up, Judge? Can y'all?
Yes. Yes, we're here.
Okay.
Somebody tell me if I'm mistaken about this, but always in the past, I thought the jailer prepared a budget, and then we looked at it and either approved or disapproved of what he prepared. Is that not how it's supposed to work? I didn't know fiscal court was supposed to write the jailer's budget. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong about that.
Yes. So the judge, the jailer, the treasurer prepares and presents to you all.
That's right. Okay.
So what I'm asking this court to be a part of that this time.
Okay. All right. Understand.
Judge, I have a question. What is this committee, the jail committee, have they met and talked about this proposal, or have you mentioned it to them? Are they part of this discussion with you and the treasurer and the jailer, the committee? What's their, because I'm not on that committee to know exactly the day-to-day routines to comment a lot on, some of the problems that may be there or may not be there. What do they feel? The committee, are they want to be involved with this?
I think they should. I don't know other than what meetings that they've had with the jailer about it. But I think that the committee needs to be involved with it, as the whole court. My plans was just for us to propose or to gather the information, just have a working session with the whole court for a proposed budget. That way everyone's looking at it, not just two or three.
Can we tell what percentage of this over budget is payroll? Is that the biggest? That is the biggest problem.
Yes, it's the biggest problem. I don't have an actual percentage with me right now, but
That's okay.
but yes, payroll is the biggest problem.
We did have a joint committee meeting, I think, Jeff, with the budget committee and the jail committee back a few weeks ago. I think that was the last meeting we actually had.
Well, folks, if we're going to do the jail committee, we need to do the sheriff, we need to do the road department, we need to do the judge's office, and we need to do the clerk's office as well. If we're going to start writing budgets for each entity or have him, we need to do all and not just one. There's some questions you could ask. Do we have a problem in Barren County? Drug problem. Do we ever hear any about a drug arrest? We ever hear about any drug suicides or drug overdoses in Barren County? Do we ever hear about any? I don't, unless it's just scuttlebutt. So, do we need to look into all these other things? If we're going to put a magnifying glass on the jail, let's put a magnifying glass on everybody that reports fiscal court, and let's look at their income and where we might divert some of that income to support some areas that may be lacking a bit. So if we're gonna do the jail, let's do them all.
Well, and all due respect, that's the only department that's over budget. And we are taking money to fund that operation currently. And that's not fair. It's not. We don't have this problem with other departments.
Well, Judge, I guess I got a question. Do we have a drug problem in Barren County?
That's not what we're talking
Yes, it's
about.
got, I mean, we need, if we're gonna start questioning and picking on,
We're not
it
picking.
seems like the jail, and I understand about the budget, but do we have drug overdoses in Barren County? That question is never asked to anybody. I'd like to ask it to somebody, and I will the next time the sheriff's on, or the drug task force. So I'm just saying, let's be consistent.
Carl, if I can ask a question, the budget committee last year, we met with every department, to answer your question directly. Yes, we met with every department, and we went a line item. So yes, we met with all departments. We met with the county court clerk. We met with the sheriff. We met with the drug task force. We met with all of them, the judge, emergency management, solid waste. Every one of them went line item by line item in their budget. So to answer your question, yes, we covered each department.
Okay. That's fine.
No? Does that sound?
I didn't hear you. What'd you say, Mark?
Does that answer that question for you then?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll be at the working session whenever it takes place.
All right.
Yeah.
Judge, may I speak? Judge Hale?
Yes.
I have no problem, like I said, any committee, any magistrate, we've sat down, talked with Mr. Bowman the other day. I thought it was great. Any input, to the jail. Of course, we're in different times with COVID, and I explained, to Mr. Bowman some of the obstacles and challenges that we have, but
And
I mean, I want all the input that I can take from you all, and explain the jail, because I know Mr. Bowman meeting or me than happy to have. I know we have a meeting coming up this Monday with you, Judge. Then after that, anytime you want to schedule it, I'll definitely make myself ready and available for that for anybody. So definitely, I have no issues with that, gentlemen and ladies.
The only reason, and Mark's right, the budget committee fine-tooth combed the budget before it ever went to first reading last fiscal year. And by statute, we have to do the jail first. So all I'm asking is for your help. I'm not asking to pick on anybody. I'm just asking for your help.
And I'm also welcoming that help. Anybody that has any type of input, the more eyes and more ears, I'd be more than happy to take any suggestions, and we'll try it. Suggestions, if they work, we'll go that way. If they don't, we'll just regroup and go with another one.
And Jailer, appreciate you. When we met the other day, I thought that it was I thought it was good for both. And just like I said, we're a team, and I thought there was a good idea too. And I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're a little broken up, but thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm good to go with it, Judge. I'll be there at the working meeting. I'm good to go.
Okay, perfect. That's all I'm asking. Just let's just put our heads together and try to make it work. Okay, let's move into other committee reports. Chairman Sarton with the jail committee.
Thank you. The jail committee met a couple of weeks ago, and we discussed the copy machine at the jail. And after investigating, we found that Xerox has a better rate than the company we're now using. Plus, they have a serviceman in this area, so we feel like we get better service. So the jail committee recommends to fiscal court that we authorize the jailer to contract with Xerox for the use of a copy machine.
Is that your motion?
It is.
Okay, motion.
Second.
Thank you, Master Coomer. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Scar Box,
Yes.
I noticed Scar Riddle is present. Scar Riddle, Scar Dickerson,
Yes.
Scar Coomer,
Yes.
Scar Bowman,
Yes.
Martin, Scar Sarton,
Yes.
Scar Houchins,
Yes.
Judge Hale.
Yes. Do let the record
Yes.
show that Master Riddle has joined. I think he's froze though, but show that he has joined. Next, Chairman.
That's all that we made any agreement on. There was some discussion about the files in the old jail, but that hasn't been determined yet, which will have to be before the old jail can be destroyed. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Emergency Management, Solid Waste, Chairman Bowman.
Okay, the first, we did meet, we met on, February the 12th at,
Can you hear me now?
1 o'clock. And the first item of business that we took up was our status of the properties that Jamie's currently working. There was no action taken in that. She just brought up today on the properties she was working on and work the status on those. And then the second item we talked about is Jamie, are you on here?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. On the second item here, research possible grant opportunities. I know we talked about a couple that we may be able to apply for. I think maybe litter abatement, open dump, and some
Yes.
things. And and that you will be applying for those in the future.
Yes, sir.
All right. And then the next so really we don't need most of her to apply for grants, do we, Jeff?
Sorry. I didn't understand you, Mark.
So really, there's no action taken there. I mean, I don't have to have it doesn't require a motion for her to.
No, not to pursue, but now when we enter into a contract for a grant, we'll have to have action.
Okay, well, thank you. All right. Third item was, and there was a lot of discussion, and also the other two members that on the committee with me, Solid Waste is Carl Dickerson and Kenneth Sarton. The next item, possible budget line item for solid waste dumpsters. And what this is, there was a lot of discussion concerning this agenda item. This could possibly be a cost saving or at least a way to help speed up the process and get properties cleaned up. And you might want to comment. You know, a lot of times you have to make multiple visits to these places. And a lot of times several. And so our thought process was if we could dump them to put their stuff in, hopefully you would have to go fewer times, and that would speed that process up. And our thought process on this was, and Carl and Kenneth, y'all interject if I'm leaving something out or not correct, that we would try to start a pilot program with maybe, and it would come out of the emergency management, but which I understand they do have the money, and we would allocate $1,000 to start the pilot program. We would pay for the dumpster, for the brand dumpster, and then the property owner would pay for the landfill cost to dump it. Is that correct? Kenneth and Carl's, that's the way y'all understood it
That's
too?
the way I understood it. I'm just gonna ask Jamie. Jamie, for a lot of these people, would they have the means to pay the whole thing, or would they not have the means to do that? If we hauled it off, do they have the means to pay for the dumpster delivery?
I would think some of them would have to have the means to pay for it all up front or once we get the bill for it, but some may need to do maybe 2 installments, depending on their situation.
Mark, I would move that we put the $1,000 in a pilot program, but I'd also say, I don't know how I would enter motion this way, that Jamie uses her discretion and where to take it and probably give her the authority to have people pay or set up payment plans or however we need to do it, where the people that are actually using the dumpsters would have to pay for it, would end up paying for it.
Right. And
We didn't talk about that, but I would think that's probably the way we need to do it. You think so?
yes, sir. I agree with you. That way, all the costs will be recovered in.
Yeah.
You know,
And let's put the $1,000 up before less is a loan until they pay
Right.
it back.
yeah. Excellent, Carl.
Squire, may I speak?
Get a second. Let's get a second.
What?
Let's get a second. I've got a motion. I need a second.
I'll second it.
The motion you made, the question I have on it is, you said to come out of the emergency management budget. Emergency management, solid waste, we work together all the time, but it's actually coming out of the solid waste budget, not the emergency management. And it's just a technical thing, but that can be a lot of havoc later on. Just want to let you know that in case you want to amend your motion.
That'd be fine. We can take it out of the solid waste. And if we give Jamie the discretion, she'll just have to use her own judgment. Who could pay and who would have to set it up. I don't know. That's my motion, Jerry. You can write it up however you understand what I said, I'm sure.
Yeah, she'll fix that. I guess on what you're asking, Master Dickerson, Jamie just has to get with the county attorney on how payment and all that and what we can legally do. So to cover us.
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Squire
Can
Riddle,
you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody can hear me. Hello? Hello?
Squire Riddle, how's your
Can you hear
vote?
me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hey, yes.
Nickerson,
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Coomer,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yeah.
Thornton,
Yes.
Hutchins,
Yes.
Box,
Yes.
Fiscal.
Yes. Chairman Bowman, you're up.
Okay. And then that brought us to the fourth line item. And if you'll discuss that a little bit, I'd appreciate it. We talked about, of course, about the full-time solid waste coordinator.
Yeah, we discussed it. Of course, obviously, we took that salary out of this current budget. I foreseen some areas that we were going to struggle in. And I do appreciate everyone that has helped out in doing this. It's definitely been a team effort. I think at some point we're going to have to readdress this and make it work, because we're running into more and more of this all the time. And it's definitely a full-time position. But I think we've got a good handle on how we can go about taking care of a lot of these situations, just like with this pilot program with the dumpsters. I think this is going to help tremendously on some of the issues that we have with people that cannot afford some things. And what's really been the challenging thing is tracking down the actual owners of the property. So, you know, they're actually responsible, ultimately responsible for the way their property looks. Now, what they do to their tenant, how they come down on them, that's their business. But we specifically target that owner. And I think that's the only fair thing to do. But the thing we run into, we have a lot of owners that do not live in Barren County. We have a lot of owners that do not live in the state of Kentucky. We have a lot of owners that don't even live in the United States. So it's very difficult at times, but it's just a matter of how you approach the situation with the person there as to how they're going to respond to what you're asking them to do. So, but again, I think we've learned a lot about what the person we need to look for that position. Again, we have endured a lot of things that I'm sure a lot of people don't realize it's out there. So, and that's just the solid waste part of it. Listen, guys, there's so many animal abandonments out there right now that we haven't even got into that. And, you know, as a county, we're ultimately responsible for that. So there's just a lot of areas to think about here. But I welcome your comments, your suggestions, you know, and what we need to do. So.
All right. Well, thank you. We appreciate everything that you have done there with, and also Jamie and Tracy and everyone involved. So then that brings us to the final item that we had, and that was search and rescue coordinator appointment. And I'm going to ask Tracy if he will take that.
Yes, sir. A few months ago, we made an appointment on the SAR coordinator. I made a couple of mistakes. The first mistake I made was we made it for 4 years. We need to make it to the end of this term. SAR coordinator is supposed to be renewed every time the new magistrates and the judges and everybody else's terms in. So, and the second one we're going to do is we're going to put it into a part-time position versus into a volunteer. It's not costing the county anything. We already have a part-time position. We already have a person in it. So I'm giving that responsibility. I'm appointing Marcus Thurman, who is a part-time emergency management director, has been for many years, my number 2 guy. I'm appointing him SAR coordinator, and according to KRS, I've got to have y'all's concurrence on this.
Okay. So you need a motion then, Tracy?
Yes, sir.
And if you word it for me, I'll make it.
I just need a motion that y'all concur with me appointing Marcus Thurman, SAR coordinator for Barren County.
I move that we appoint SAR coordinator for Barren County.
I'll second that.
We have a second. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Scar Dickerson,
Yes.
Scar Coomer,
Yes.
Scar Bowman,
Yes.
Ms. Horton,
Yes.
Scar Houchins,
Yes.
Scar Motts,
Yes.
Scar Riddle, Scar Riddle,
Yes.
and Hale.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on to building and property.
Yes.
Chairman Coomer.
Yes, the Building and Property Committee met this morning prior to our court meeting to open bids on replacing the chiller and the judicial center, something that's we've kind of put off for a few years that just going to have to be done, and it needs to be done as soon as possible because of going to be it's not going to be hard. There's been some new findings since we had our meeting. We had voted on selecting one of the bids, but since then we found out that we didn't really know all the facts. So I really think we need to make a call today and verify these differences. And maybe Judge or Sherry, I guess we'd have to have a special call meeting just for this, because it's something that needs to be, because there's quite a leeway to be able to get this new unit, and it's something that needs to be done as soon as possible. So I guess my suggestion would be, if I'd like to hear other comments, put this on hold till we get this straightened out.
Clark Coomer, my understanding is that all three of the people that quoted exactly the same piece of equipment. Is that not your understanding?
That's my understanding.
And with that being said, that would change my vote in the committee meeting to give the business to HVAC, because they were like $10,000 cheaper. Is that not correct? I don't have the bids right here in front of me. Isn't that what they?
That's exactly right.
So instead of us having 2 or 3 more meetings, if you and Jeff concur, we could change our recommendation, or the court could, if you could explain it to exactly what happened, the court could, they have to vote on it anyway. And my recommendation would change with the new information. So instead of us pushing this back, don't you think we should go ahead with it today? Jeff, what do you think?
I agree with you, as long as they're going to do the route overhead and they have that in that bid. I just want to make sure that, Carl,
and that's
that we confirm that.
That's my understanding, that they do have it in there.
Okay. We just want to make sure that the court, that is in that line item of that bid.
Maybe we need to investigate and do it at a different time.
Can I make the motion that, I don't know how this works, if we confirm that these 2 bids are for the exact same job, for the exact same unit, model number, that we accept the lowest bid?
Which would be HVAC.
Yes.
I'll second that.
Okay, you have a motion, you have a second. Question?
How much was the bid?
The Glasgow Electric was $97,712 for a Carrier. That was a 5-year warranty on the compressor. The HVAC was $87,285. From what we're understanding now, for the same unit, for a 5-year compressor warranty. The differences were, the specs asked for a 75-ton bid. Evidently, the unit is only a 70-ton, but it's supposedly rated as much as the old 75-ton. So it's supposed to do the same job, from my understanding.
You know, we would just have to check model numbers with each entity to make sure that's correct. Sherry, give us some direction on this. Exactly, if we, or Judge, if we do the exactly the same model and it got exactly the same scope of work, can we go ahead and approve that today? Judge, for Sherry?
Yeah, let's, I'm gonna lean on the county attorney on this, since this is talking about specs.
Can you pass this till the end and I'll try to look that up while we're still meeting? I don't want to steer you in the wrong direction.
Okay, so I'm going to make a motion to table this till the end of the meeting.
Okay.
All right, we have a second. Roll call vote.
Spark Hammer,
Yes.
Star Bowman,
Yes.
Yes.
Star Houchins, you're muted. Can you unmute?
How about a thumbs up, Bill?
Yeah, show us, yeah, give us a thumbs
There
up.
you go.
Okay. Squire Box,
Yes.
Riddle,
Yes.
Squire Dickerson,
Yes.
Yes.
Judge Hale.
Yes. Okay, in new business, approve the payment of claims as presented.
So move.
Remember,
Second that.
moment, questions? Roll call vote, please.
Squire Bowman,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Squire Houseman,
Yes.
Squire Box,
Yes.
Squire Riddle,
Yes.
Squire Dickerson,
Yes.
Squire Coomer,
Yes.
Judge Hale.
Yes, thank you very much. Approved transfer of funds.
So move.
Mr. Taylor,
Second.
by Manager Houchins, questions?
Judge, if it's okay, I would like for, to, detail those, a couple of those, rather large ones did involve the jail. So I just want to point that out. If she would go, if she would detail out those transfer funds.
Yes, so, on the $190,000 transfer to the jail, since we got new bank accounts, I have to make sure that there's enough money in those bank accounts each month to cover the payroll and the bills. So that takes a projection. And to project, I went back to the year previous at this time to project how much payroll and bills would be. So to break that 190,000 down, 166,000 was for payroll, 13,000 for utilities, and the 23,870 was for any unexpected overages that can happen this year versus last year. 74,000 transfer is how much the jail was over budget in January. So to bring that back into budget, that had to be transferred. I did at first have to project the March to cover their payroll and expenses as well. But they got in some deposits that will cover the March. So we're not going to have to transfer any money before the next meeting for their expenses in March.
Okay. Thank you.
Questions on transfer? Okay, hearing none, roll call vote.
Squire Sarton,
Yes.
Squire Houchins,
Yes.
Squire Box,
Yes.
Squire Riddle,
Yes.
Squire Dickerson,
Yes.
Squire Coomer,
Yes.
Squire Bowman,
Yes.
Judge Hale.
Yes. Budget adjustment.
Motion.
Mr. Riddle,
Second.
Houchins, questions? Roll call vote.
Squire Houchins,
Yes.
Squire Box,
Yes.
Squire Riddle,
Yes.
Squire Dickerson,
Yes.
Squire Coomer,
Yes.
Squire Bowman,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Judge Hale.
Yes, thank you very much. Approved monthly financial statement, January 2021, subject to audit.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, questions? Roll call vote.
Squire Box,
Yes.
Squire Riddle,
Yes.
Squire Dickerson,
Yes.
Squire Coomer,
Yes.
Squire Bowman,
Yes.
Squire Sarton,
Yes.
Squire Houchins,
Yes.
Judge Hale.
Yes, thank you very much. Approved official settlements, January 2021, subject to audit, the county attorney, the county clerk, and the sheriff.
So move.
Second.
Houchin, second by Coomer. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Squire Riddle,
Yes.
Dickerson,
Yes.
Squire Coomer,
Yes.
Squire Bowman,
Yes.
Squire Sarton,
Yes.
Squire Houchins,
Yes.
Squire Botts,
Yes.
Judge Hale.
Yes, thank you very much. Personnel actions,
So move.
Houchins, you second.
Second.
Okay, Master Riddle, second. Questions?
Yes, I do. On this one, I noticed, and we talked about that in the meeting a little bit with Taylor Bennett, and there was personal actions there. One for the jail that went back to July the 6th. I don't know if y'all noticed that. And then there was one or two for September and about 3 for December. The way this should work, for example, right now, we're doing our February meeting. All business to be current should be January. So, but we did discuss that a little bit, and then there's improvement in an area that needs to be worked on there. Just wanted to point that out, that going forward, that should be much more current.
Other questions? Roll call vote, please.
Squire Dickerson,
Yes.
Squire Coomer,
Yes.
Squire Bowman,
Yes.
Squire Sarton,
Yes.
Squire Houchins,
Yes.
Squire Botts,
Yes.
Squire Riddle,
Yes.
Judge Hale.
Yes, thank you. Appointments, the ambulance taxi district board, I want to appoint Albert Dilly. His term will end January 17th, 2023. The Green River Water District Board, Adrian Gossett, term ending March 21st or 24th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Master Houchin, questions? Roll call vote, please.
Squire Coomer,
Yes.
Squire Bowman,
Yes.
Squire Sarton,
Yes.
Squire Houchins,
Yes.
Squire Botts,
Yes.
Squire Riddle,
Yes.
Squire Dickerson,
Yes.
Judge Hale.
Yes. Okay, next item here is the resolution. You guys have this for the community block grant. This is for the utility assistance program. Currently on the meeting, we have Katie Ford of the Brad office to answer any questions. So, but we'll need to take action to adopt this resolution, Barren County Fiscal Court. So if I can get a motion in a second, then we can start the discussion.
I'll make that motion.
Coomer,
Second.
Riddle, okay, open it up for questions.
How much is the block grant? What kind of a assistance does that cover? I know it says utility, but
So Katie, if you'll unmute, I'll have you to talk to us if you don't mind.
All right, can you all hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. The maximum amount that you can apply for is 200,000. Out of that, 5% will go to admin to do the administration of the project, and then 3% for the nonprofit. It can cover water, sewer, gas, and electric. And I don't, I have all the figures in front of me, but I say that you all will be able to apply for that 200,000.
Who determines the qualification if we get the grant to receive the money? What's the the requirement to get the money for an individual.
So basically, it's for utilities that have residential customers that are behind on their payments due to COVID-19. The county is acting as the applicant since it is CDBG, only counties and cities can apply. And then once the project is funded, the county will enter into a legal binding agreement with a nonprofit to oversee the funds and how those funds are spent. So basically, the county is acting as a pass-through agent.
So the nonprofit would determine income requirements and all things like that, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay.
Person has to be delinquent on their payment.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And here's where we're at so far. Obviously, each city within the county can qualify for the same amount. So we have partnered with Community Relief. They have what's known as Charity Tracker. They have their own board. So that the record show can start this meeting. So that's where we're at so far. We're obtaining those late fees from the utilities now, such as the water, electric, gas. So we feel like this is going to move forward pretty quick. Monday night, the city of Glasgow, they adopted their resolution so they could apply for it. This will be for county residents only that just live in the county limits. So we're pretty far along. We just have to adopt this resolution. I think it's a great thing to help folks in the community. So, this money's got to go somewhere. We might as well utilize it to the best of our ability.
I'm 100% for this. The only sad part is, and everything's not fair. I know that some people will sacrifice other things to pay their utility bills that may be needed more than people that are just go delinquent. And I know there's probably no fix for that, but that's a sad part of this.
Okay, any other discussion? All right, thank you, Katie, for explaining that.
All right, thank you all.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Scar Bowman,
Yes.
Hutchins, Scar Houchins,
Yes.
Scar Box,
Yes.
Scar Riddle,
Yes.
Scar Dickerson,
Yes.
Scar Kamer,
Yes.
Judge Hale.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, economic development report.
Well, Judge Hale, you did the economic development report when we got that ordinance passed, which is a good deal for this court, and it tickles me to death to see us all join together and realize that we need to promote Barren County and move forward with more new jobs. And I think by doing what we did this morning, we will get to that end. So I just want to congratulate all you guys and Judge Hale for all the hard work you did on this, and Maureen, my goodness. We get this bond started, get a couple of things happen here, we're on the move. So that's a good thing. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. First reading of ordinance 654 relating to budget amendment 5. And I need a motion.
Motion?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Scar Houchins,
Yes.
Scar Box,
Yes.
Scar Riddle,
Yes.
Scar Dickerson,
Yeah.
Scar Kamer,
Yes.
Scar Bowman.
Yeah.
Judge Hale.
Yes. So I entertain a motion to take off the table the bids for the chiller.
I'll make that motion, Judge Hale.
Dickerson,
I'll second that.
Bowman. Okay. So yes, roll call vote, please.
Squire Houchins,
Yes.
Squire Botts,
Yes.
Squire Riddle,
Yes.
Squire Dickerson,
Yes.
Squire Cameron,
Yes.
Squire Bowman,
Yes.
Tail.
Yes. So I want to simplify this for everybody. Here's what my opinion we should do. I think you should just accept all bids, accept them all. The committee go through there and make sure you're where you need to be on these bids. Obviously, there's a huge gap in the pricing, but I think that way you can just look at all of them and you can say, okay, this is the one we're going with. That way you're not excluding anyone, but and you have the right to do that. That's just my suggestion. I'm not saying that's what you should do.
Well, I make a motion, we do that, we can talk about it a little bit, we get a second.
Do we have a motion?
Second.
Second, okay.
So, and I say we can get all we can look at all the bids this way, our committee can, and we can determine if we're getting apples to apples with everybody. And that's the first thing. And number two, the time is of the essence, guys. It's gonna get hot and we need to get this done. That's the reason I think we just need to move ahead with it. We can have a committee meeting tomorrow as far as that goes and look at all over it. You guys want to do that? And that's up to you, Tim. You'll have to call the meeting, but
That's good. Or do we even have to have a meeting if we accept all of bids? I guess.
So here you go. Why don't you guys, again, okay, I'm gonna make a motion that the property committee meet. We vote today that we give you all the authorization to make the decision. That's my motion.
I'll second
it.
Second, Master Dickerson. Any questions on that? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Squire Botts,
Yes.
Riddle,
Yes.
Squire Dickerson,
Yes.
Squire Cameron,
Yes.
Squire Bowman,
Yes.
Squire Houchins,
Yes.
Judge Hale.
Yes. Main motion.
And then the main motion,
Okay. Roll call vote on the main motion.
which is,
You read that back.
the main motion was to accept all the bids with the committee to go through the bids.
Yeah.
Squire Riddle,
Yes.
Squire Dickerson,
Yes.
Squire Cameron,
Yes.
Squire Bowman,
Yes.
Houchins,
Yes.
Squire Botts,
Yes.
Judge Hale.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, appreciate all of you. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Before we adjourn, I'd just like to tell Susan them I want to pass on my appreciation for all the road department for this last week.
Yeah. I want to do the same too. I think that Susan, Scott, and the whole road department crew did an excellent job.
Thank you all also.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right,